exploring the multiverse of pop culture.
This is Podcasserole.
An Adam and JP show.
Hey, welcome to Podcasserole.
Oh, hey there.
An Adam and JP production.
Did we miss last week's episode?
Adam, it's a...
we recorded. It happened, I promise.
My life has become a blur of, hey, I'm supposed to be here, then I'm supposed to be here, and here's what happened.
Yeah.
Seems like we've been having a lot of talks like this lately.
Here's the deal.
So we recorded the episode, right?
Didn't we used to have the Here's the Deal with Josh segment?
We did have Here's the Deal with Josh. But then we lost Josh.
Yeah.
So we recorded an episode where you went off on the app TikTok.
Oh, yeah.
It was really just 20 minutes of you bitching about TikTok.
Was that?
Yeah.
Was that all it was?
That's all it was.
Well, that's good.
Really.
It was lost. That's fine.
And then when I went to save it, I saved it under an episode we had just recorded. So I overwrote it.
I mean, in almost 8 years, that's the 4th episode we've lost. That's fine.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
We're losing an episode every 2 years. We're good.
So that's not a bad average.
Yeah, it's not bad at all.
If we were a major league batter, we'd be in the Hall of Fame.
Exactly. It's not bad at all.
How you doing?
Good.
How you doing, Adam?
I'm tired. You're tired too?
Yeah. But I've been working all day. You just been out having fun.
Yeah, I just
buying toys, looking at games.
I didn't really buy toys. I just looked at toys.
Well, let's take me through your day.
So today is Father's Day, and in celebration of that, my wife is like, you know what? Take off.
Get out of the house.
Do what you want. I had a totally free day, and so I took advantage of that. I went to multiple places in the Middle Tennessee area. I won't say the locations because if you're not here, it doesn't make sense.
Right.
But there's a place about 45 minutes to an hour away.
Well, McKay's is a national chain.
I guess so. Is it?
Yeah.
Is it national?
Yeah, but I don't mean to interrupt your story.
Oh, it's all good. And by the way, so the outside sign of that place says McKay, but everything inside says McKay's, like possessive. Which one is it? It's the Walmart's debate.
Well, you go into McKay, and if they own the stuff inside,
is that what it is?
It is McKay's.
So you can't say I got this is a Walmart's shirt.
Yeah, well, it's a Walmart shirt.
Walmart's shirt.
But if you're buying it inside, it could be Walmart's shirt.
So I'm inside of Walmart's bathroom.
You bought Walmart's shirt. Yes, you could say that.
I'm in Walmart's. Yeah, it makes sense. Uh-huh. Yeah. So I go to McKay's. That's fun. It's a good place. The credit there is amazing. Just insane.
The credit system?
Yeah, I took the stuff there I haven't watched or read in years.
What'd you take in?
I mean, old DVDs, old books.
Such as House of a Thousand Corpses?
No. I don't think so. There was The Lords of Salem, speaking of Rob Zombie. I'm not a huge Lords of Salem fan, but that was there. Turned in, sadly.
You turned it in or someone else did?
I did. I double-checked the stack.
Well, you've always said that was a kind of a bad movie.
Yeah, not a fan. Big Rob Zombie guy, but not a fan of that movie.
You're the one. So you're one of two.
So
technically three that I know.
I took quite a few things in there, and they gave about half of it back. That could be because we
don't want this.
The inventory is overstocked, or I don't know what the problem was. Every time they don't take my extra Redneck Zombies. I have 2 copies, and I've tried to give that second one away for years.
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
They're that stacked on Redneck Zombies.
Well, it could be overstacked. It could be no interest.
Or stocked, I guess.
Yeah, well, either way. But it could be no interest either way. So they gave about half of those back, but I still...
No one wants this crap.
I spent $75 in credit today, and I still have $79 left over.
Well, congratulations.
Yeah, thank you.
What did you buy?
Some games, board and video.
Board games you bought?
Yeah.
Settlers of Catan?
No. Ooh. No, did not. Some old obscure ones that don't make sense. You should come over and play them, though.
Like what?
One's called Gloom. Yeah, exactly. Stuff like, they're not like, they're not mainstream. You never heard of them before. I'm a board game hipster now.
You are a board game hipster. Do you have Gloom?
I got some video games. I finally got the new, I say new, it came out last year, maybe 2 years ago. South Park, the the Fractured Butthole. That's funny.
You just now got that?
Yeah, I played the Stick of Truth when it came out, but the Fractured Butthole kind of slipped the radar, I guess. So got that.
Can happen.
My wife and I were big Minecraft fans, as you know. We just celebrated the 10th year anniversary of Minecraft. There is a game called 7 Days to Die, which is, not that Minecraft is for kids, but if it were, 7 Days to Die would be Minecraft for adults. That's what that is.
Okay, so far it just sounds like you've wasted your credits.
No, it's good. It's good.
Is that what was making that noise?
I think maybe so. I'm trying to figure it out. Oh, nope, something else. But you would enjoy, I think you would enjoy
Hands off the table.
I think you would enjoy 7 Days to Die. Check it out.
What's
I'm
it
serious.
about?
Think Minecraft, the idea of Minecraft. What you don't like, I think,
Hate it already.
You don't like the visuals of Minecraft. You don't like the 8-bit graphics, the creepers, but the concept of building and protecting yourself from evil entities isn't a bad thing. So imagine you have day and night cycles with zombies. In the daytime are slow and moping, but at nighttime they're stronger, faster, more feral. And every 7 days of that day and night cycle, hordes of zombies come into the house you've tried to build up for your shelter.
So do you have a countdown?
Well, I mean, like it's a day and night cycle, so it's a mental countdown. Yeah.
But you have to keep track?
Yeah.
You have to write it down? Okay, I'm in day one.
Yes, you could. In the back of your notes in your instruction manual.
Let's go back to the board game.
Oh, yeah.
Gloom.
Yeah.
What's the plot of this?
So, the Gloom sounds so... Let me read it for you. I'll look it for you online. It's so I call that a board game, but it's more...
Is this an RPG?
You could call it that, yeah.
Is it a card game?
It is. It's more of a card game.
Oh, boy.
But not like a Hearthstone card game. It's more of a... man, I don't know how to describe it.
Magic the Gathering?
And it sounds very... No, it sounds very...
Pokemon?
Depressing, kind of?
Spades? Solitaire?
No. Let's see. I'll read you straight from BoardGameGeek.com.
Pinochle?
The world of Gloom is a sad and benighted place. The sky is gray, the tea is cold, and a new tragedy lies around every corner. Debt, disease, heartache, and packs of rabid flesh-eating mice. Just when it seems like things can't get any worse, they do. But some say that's when one's reward in the afterlife is based on the misery endured in life. If so, there may yet be hope, if not in this world, then in the peace that lies beyond. Don't you want to play that game?
Boy, that sounds like like a real humdinger, Adam.
In the Gloom card game, you assume control of the fate of an eccentric family of misfits and misanthropes. The goal of the game is sad but simple. You want your characters to suffer the greatest tragedies possible before passing on to the well-deserved respite of death. You'll play horrible mishaps like pursued by poodles or mocked by midgets on your own characters to lower,
that is not politically
to lower
correct.
your self-worth scores, while trying to cheer your opponent's characters with marriages and other happy occasions that pile on positive points. The player with the lowest total family value wins. So pretty much, you're bringing doom and gloom upon your family to give them a better afterlife. You love your family, and it's as legend goes, the worse life you have, the better afterlife you have. So you love your family so much, give them a terrible life so they can be rewarded in the afterlife.
This just sounds like my childhood.
I didn't make this up. It's it's by Atlas Games called
This
Gloom.
could just be called JPT. The game.
I was curious when I saw it, so I've heard of it for a while now, and I saw it for $4 with my credits. So I'm like, you know what? I'll trade in some Lords of Salem for Gloom. That's Doom for Doom.
And you have net $79 left.
Yeah.
Do you have your eye on something?
I have more. I bought other games too. I got
something?
Injustice 2. I'm curious about that.
Oh, I never played that either.
Same here. We love the first one. We used to set up at conventions and have like time trial tournaments. Remember that?
Oh, I do remember that.
We'd set it on hard with I think a 90-second time limit and see if Batman could beat the Joker. If you did, you won, I don't know, probably a sticker or a Drinkenstein pin.
You won a candy cane.
Yeah, so I got that.
Captain America shield.
What else did I get? Oh, yeah, there's a game called This Is the Police. Have you heard of that?
No.
Yeah, check it out. This Is the Police. You assume the role of a policeman, but it's more of like a what's the word I'm looking for? When you ask someone a question, you are interrogating them. That's the word. It's an interrogation game. Imagine that. Certain crimes happen. You bring people in. You have a crime scene. You ask interrogations. It's like
This is a video game?
Yeah, This Is the Police.
For which system?
It's all systems, but I got it for the Xbox One.
And it's just an interrogation game?
Pretty much. It seems like it.
Are you trying to set people up?
I'm sure. So yeah, This Is the Police. I got some of the new South Park game. I got
I didn't do it. You slap him in the face a little bit.
7 Days to Die. And I think that's it as far as video games go.
Tell me about the toy store you went to.
Oh, yeah. So that is about 45 minutes away from us. It's called Replay Toys. And man, I went there for an hour and a half. I could have stayed for 3 more. It's awesome.
What'd you see that was fun?
Old games or old toys from the 70s to now.
They have a $6 million man figure?
Yeah, I think so.
A Bionic Woman?
Yeah.
I had both as a kid.
I mean, you should, at the very least, go in there just for a nostalgia trip. It's crazy the stuff they have. It's insane.
They have a Rubik's Cube.
Yeah, oh yeah. I mean, everything. You can, even like the non, of course, the popular stuff, but even the not so popular.
They have a stuffed gizmo.
I'm sure somewhere. There's so much stuff you can't see everything.
Yeah.
I know they have some Gremlins things. Yeah. And you see that, and people are in there. I mean, it was semi-crowded. People buying these things, and you get sad because you see the price. Toys you had, even loose, can go over so much money.
Really? Like what's
the cheapest? Like the original Ghostbusters, like the real Ghostbusters from the cartoon. Those toys.
Yeah.
They were going loose for $40.
Really?
Loose.
I had one of those. Something.
Yeah,
one of the monsters.
I had tons of them. Loose.
I mean, recently I had
$40. Yeah.
I think I still may have it.
I still have my original Egon, but his tie's broken. That poor tie. But yeah, loose.
So you may get $25 for it.
$40. Everything there. I can't even go through the list. I mean, my buddy, they had everything from the old stuff. They even had my favorite Punky Brewster doll was there. In box. I took a picture in box. You know, by the way,
mint in box.
That's coming back.
Clearly, it wasn't the one that belonged to you.
That's true. Have you heard that story, like officially? Soleil Moon Frye is coming back for a Punky reboot.
She's Punky Brewster?
Yeah, she's Punky Brewster.
Who wants to see that?
And I believe she is now fostering children, and it's kind of the Fuller House effect of Punky Brewster.
On Netflix?
I don't think so.
On NBC?
I think it's going to be network. Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah. What do you give that, a year? A year or 6?
I mean, I didn't think Fuller House would go past one season.
Yeah.
And how many have they had? 3, 4?
And Swamp Thing lasted, what, 2 weeks?
Yeah, that was crazy. Like, it was... I think they had canceled that after the first episode was released.
Yeah, yeah.
Why? Do you know the story of that?
I'm not sure. Especially being on a streaming service like that.
Yeah.
It's not like it's Netflix where it has a huge pool of characters and things to draw from. I mean, that is a finite amount you can draw from.
So do you think Warner Brothers is going to cancel the whole DC... Was it DC? It's not DC Direct. What's it called?
I think it's DC... Is it Universe?
Maybe. But it's just streaming DC properties.
Right.
Do you think Warner Brothers is canceling that so they can create their own Warner Brothers all-encompassing
No, I think that's doing pretty well. I
streaming?
think because there's Doom Squad, there is Titans, and from what I hear, those are all right. Yeah.
I don't know. I haven't seen one.
It is. It's called DC Universe. The DC
And
Universe.
they have like live shows that they do. Like they produce talk shows. And
if you look that up on ScreenRant.com from 14 hours ago, is DC Universe streaming service falling apart before it even officially starts.
Wow. That's what I'm saying. I think Warner Brothers may just be developing their own thing.
I mean, it's DC. Did you expect anything differently?
I expected it to be very dark.
So yeah, that's what happened there. But yeah, replay toys. I think that should sweep the nation, that idea.
Like an old school toy store?
I'm curious how, and I told them, and everyone there told them, this is the best store I've ever seen in my life. And I was honest when I said that. But how much can you be selling for that?
And that is the key.
I talked to the owner. This is their second week in operation.
Mm-hmm.
It's a husband and wife duo ownership. They were both there.
Oh.
I talked to them for a
Who do you
while.
think is going to get it in the divorce?
So the weird thing is they both seem very happy. The wife was just as much as informed as he was. They're both super passionate about it. And I spoke to them for a while about the process. And they pretty much said that was his personal collection in there for years. And just time to sell something, time to have fun, make a profit. They're knowledgeable about it. At the same time, just keep it going.
Do you think they're making a profit?
I don't know.
Do you think they will? That's tough.
Very tough, because you had to. It's different when you start off.
Because we've done the math on a business before.
We have. We've been, yeah.
And what did we decide?
It's not, at least for what we thought of, because we thought, even as recent as 5 years ago, the idea of like a Geek Central brick and mortar location would be feasible.
They straight up stole our idea.
I mean, not really. We were more focused, I thought, at the time on games, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which, as we see now, would be a bad idea. Even a multi-billion-dollar company like GameStop, 3/4 of the store is cell phones, keychains, posters, and T-shirts.
So how much do you think their rent is a month?
I was thinking about that, because they're in a nice part of town, but the building itself is old and pretty run down.
So
they said before that it was a pizzeria, and before that a movie rental store. That's what kind of location we're dealing with. But it was not, for what it was, I did not feel dirty. I was surrounded by toys that were licked by many people.
Do you think 2,000's too much? It's too low.
If I had to guess, I would say $1,500 they were paying for that. If I had to guess.
$1,500.
If I had to guess.
So average sale is probably...
That depends, because there's some stuff there that's very expensive. The question is, will that move off the shelf?
Right.
You have your $3, California raisin trinkets I bought today.
So average sale,
But that's not
$10.
paying rent.
Then say average sale is $10.
Yeah. You should break it down per day to make it easier.
Yeah.
Like how much you're making a day.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So your average sale is $10.
Mm-hmm.
So how many $10 sales do you have to make a day to pay your rent in a month?
You can't do that because some stuff is like almost $1,000 there. So $10 is a...
That's okay, but I'm just saying on average.
Yeah. You have to make a lot.
I mean, it's just so hard.
I know. And that's what I'm saying. It's easier starting off when it's your personal collection, as we thought of before, because you have that inventory. But once that depletes, you must replenish.
Because here's the question I would ask.
You're putting more money out to get more inventory.
Why not take pictures of everything that you have in your brick and mortar store and just open an online store and make the whole world
That's how they began.
Possible.
I talked to her about that. They said they began online. That's how they started. And somehow, some way, they thought it's a better idea to go physical, which time will tell. I'm glad they did.
Well, obviously.
Yeah.
But
it is more of a selling point, but if you can keep both of those going, I think it's good. If you have that community where myself, I live almost an hour away, and any chance I get, I'm going to go back there and see what else they have new. So,
have you been to our local record store that opened?
No, I keep wanting to. I should have went today, but I didn't do it.
I keep forgetting about it.
Yeah.
We have a record store here now.
Yeah.
Haven't been to it yet.
We'll see how long that goes.
Mm-hmm. It's tough.
But I think the retro toys, because no matter who you are, how old you are, even if you don't care about that stuff at all, you have the memories with it. And there's stuff I saw there, like, wow.
Toys from the 2000s?
Yeah, they have brand new Marvel Legends that came out last month.
Got you.
On the shelves.
That's smart.
Yeah, from new to old. It's very well done.
Have any Pokemon?
They have some cards in there.
Did you see a Pikachu?
Cards. I'm sure somewhere.
Did you see a Jigglypuff?
There's so much. I want you to go.
I would love to go.
They had that Pee Wee Herman talking doll I have, new in box, $90.
Wow.
Yeah. The talking Ernest P. Worrell doll was there.
Hey, Vern, it's Ernest.
My buddy, the female and the male version.
Can we talk about the Ernest movies for a second?
For sure, yeah.
Because
I watched one last week.
I didn't realize how many there were.
You didn't?
Ernest Goes to Africa.
Yeah.
What an incredibly racist movie.
I watched that. I really watched that last week.
Is it racist?
No.
He's in blackface.
But that's not... See,
it's just a disguise.
You're thinking of modern times.
But he just wants to look like everybody else on the island?
Thinking of modern time. Back then, that wasn't bad. Like now, we understand it's bad, but back then, I'm not taking up for it, but back then, it wasn't thought of as bad. It's not. It is now. Back then, it wasn't a thought.
That just seems like a horrible idea for a movie. This wasn't that long ago. When did Ernest Goes to Africa come out?
I would say 97-ish.
Oh, wow.
He died in early 2000, so 97. He died right before Valentine's Day of 2000. Yeah.
And so in the plot of Ernest Goes to Africa, why does Ernest put on blackface?
That may have been 2001. To fit in, I think fit in.
Wow. Wow.
To be part of.
You said you just watched it last week.
I know. I was talking with friends. I don't know what's going on. I don't know.
Do you feel like you're in the interrogation game?
Yeah, I think so. This is the police. We know locally we had Ernest P. Worrell Day recently.
Really?
At Montgomery Bell, because they have it every year.
Where we celebrated the racist Ernest P. Worrell?
It's the weekend of Ernest's birthday, of Jim Varney's birthday.
Wow.
It is, yeah.
Check his jaw, Ernest.
He's born June 15th, and every weekend, the closest to that, at the Montgomery Bell, where they filmed the majority of Ernest Goes to Camp.
That I was supposed to be in.
They have a whole day of festivities there. They have the turtle, catapulting, not real turtles, of course, face painting, canoeing, all that stuff.
Oh, what's the face painting like?
I'm sure they have local Dixon face painters.
Do they do blackface?
It's a sign of would you consider
the Ernest P. Worrell blackface painting?
Eddie Murphy white-faced it. Today it would not be acceptable. In 1984 was hilarious.
Oh, that's always acceptable.
It's a sign of it's a different time.
So, Ernest played basketball in a movie, yes?
Yeah.
What was that called?
Slam Dunk Ernest. Were you...
Kareem Abdul-Jabbar is in this, correct?
Yeah.
What other Ernest movies are there? There's Ernest Scared Stupid.
Oh, the theatrical releases. That was the, yeah.
Oh, Hot Shot Ernest wasn't? Or Slam Dunk Ernest?
No. They only had 4 theatrical Ernest movies.
Well, let's go through the theatrical released Ernest movies. It started with Ernest Goes to Camp.
Right.
Ernest Goes to Jail.
Yeah.
Ernest Goes to Hell.
He never went to hell.
Oh, okay. Are you sure?
Oh, boo.
Ernest Scared Stupid.
Right. You can do it. You can do it. You can do it. What did he save?
Christmas.
Yep.
Ernest Saves Christmas.
Yeah.
So that's your 4 theatrical releases.
Yeah.
Then you had Hot Shot Ernest. Slam Dunk Ernest.
Yeah.
Ernest Goes to Africa.
There were a few. So yeah, Ernest Goes to Africa.
And then what was?
And there were quite a. Look it up. There are a few because we watched trailers and you had that. Not only did we watch that, but we watched about an hour or two of Hey Vern, It's Me, Ernest, the TV show. Yeah.
Ernest movies on the IMDb.
Are you an Ernest P. Worrell hater? I never knew you.
No, I'm not an Ernest P. Worrell. I just think that I was really upset at the
what?
Ernest Goes to Africa.
What?
The title says it all. There's a mix-up involving stolen diamonds, which Ernest made into a yo-yo and given to his girlfriend Renee. But Renee wants a man of action. What? This is the plot to Ernest Goes to Africa.
It's not like it's not what you think.
But Renee wants a man of action and doesn't think that Ernest fits the bill. After the bad guys come looking for the stolen diamonds and kidnap Renee, all of her fantasies come true as Ernest has to go to Africa and rescue her. So we had Slam Dunk Ernest. I guess that was the first direct-to-video. Oh, no. Here we go. Ernest goes to camp.
Right.
Ernest goes to jail.
Mm-hmm.
Ernest saves Christmas.
Then he's scared stupid.
Ernest scares stupid. Ernest rides again.
Yeah.
Ernest in the army.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I forgot in the army.
Slam Dunk Ernest.
Yeah.
Ernest goes to Africa.
Mm-hmm.
Ernest goes to school.
Goes to school? Really?
Yeah.
So I never saw it goes to school.
It has on IMDb. It has 1 star.
Wow. I mean, yeah. There's no. I think Ernest is very much like Pee-wee. It's a very innocent, childlike comedy to it. There's no ill intentions whatsoever.
So after Ernest has all these adventures, we find out that he doesn't even have a high school diploma.
I guess so.
So he has to go to school.
I guess so.
If you had to watch Back to School or Ernest Goes to School, which would you pick?
Maybe Ernest because I've never seen it before.
The Rodney Dangerfield classic.
I think Ernest Goes to School.
You can watch free on IMDb TV.
Really?
Yeah.
What is your favorite Ernest movie?
You know what? I got to be honest with you.
Yeah.
I think the only one I've ever seen all the way through is Ernest Goes to Camp.
Real? What? Really?
I've never seen Ernest Saves Christmas.
Oh, man.
I've never seen Ernest Scares Stupid.
What? You've never seen Ernest Scared Stupid?
I've never seen Ernest. Wait, Ernest Goes to jail. Doesn't he have a twin in jail?
Well, he has a look like Nash, and they get swapped up in the jury and the chewing of the pen. That whole
Which
thing.
one gets electrocuted?
Actual Ernest.
Okay.
At that point, Nash is out pretty much abusing, we'll say, Ernest's real-life girlfriend.
Now, Nash is basically, if it was Family Matters, he would be the...
Stefan or
Stefan, yeah.
Yeah, he's a sly, smooth, slick back hair.
Yeah.
Well, actual Ernest is in there, and it's awesome. He gets electrocuted, and you think he dies, but he doesn't, and he has the powers. It's so cool.
Ernest Rides Again.
Yeah, I never saw that.
Buffoonish Ernest and his dim-witted pal Abner unearth a huge cannon reputed to contain the crown jewels of England. What? What's with him and the jewels?
That's what happens.
Ernest is always in a jewel heist.
You never saw... Wow. I didn't know you were so behind in your Ernest watching.
Yeah, I'm very behind.
The main character... Well, besides Ernest, the main character from Ernest Scared Stupid, I was a fellow student in film school with. He went to film school with me.
Ernest?
No, the kid, main character.
Oh. And Ernest in the Army. Ernest joins the Army Reserve so he can drive the big rigs, but ends up being sent in combat, where he has to steal some Arabian jewels. What's with the jewels?
He loves the jewels.
Apparently. Every Ernest movie is a jewel heist. I made that last part up.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Yeah, I haven't seen a lot of the later ones, but...
What is about Ernest? Tell me.
I told you, it's the childlike innocence. It's the Pee-wee style.
Yeah.
I mean, you can say the bad stuff that happens or the things today that aren't good, but back then it was straight innocence. Even, it was just pure.
Comic book convention coming up in Nashville.
Yeah.
Or Knoxville, excuse me.
Right.
What's it called? Fanboy Expo.
Fanboy Expo, yeah.
Paul Rubin's going to be in attendance.
He is.
You going to go to that?
I would like to, but I think not. That is, I don't know, I'd like to.
Because I was going to tell you tonight that I'd go with you.
Yeah. It's so expensive, though.
Yeah,
everything
it's very
is.
expensive.
And we have Disney and less than 3 months away.
So you've been researching Disney because you got a trip coming up to
Yeah.
Disney World.
Right.
Where the Star Wars land is not open yet. What's the official name of it?
Galaxy's Edge.
Galaxy's Edge.
Yeah.
But I'm sure you've been reading everything about this.
Oh, yeah. Way too
Now,
much.
the interactive ride is not open in Disneyland.
Mm-hmm.
None of it's open in Disney World yet. The interactive ride is not open in Disneyland. I think there's a Millennium Falcon
Yeah,
game,
the Smuggler's Run. Yeah.
but there's another one like Fallen Order,
yeah.
blah, blah.
Right.
These games seem really intense.
They do.
Like, you have a team that's on board the Millennium Falcon, and you are assigned things to do. So everybody does something different to assure that the Millennium Falcon can make the smugglers run.
Yeah.
Apparently, you don't want kids to be your pilot.
Really?
Yeah.
It's like that.
Because you'll keep crashing.
What was that game we used to play on our iPhones in hotel rooms for cons?
Snake?
No, Space Team. Remember that?
Space Team.
Flip the projector to level 4. And you're screaming back and forth to do the other person. Space Team.
I forgot that game.
Yeah. We used to drink apple ales and play Space Team.
Those were the days. Those were the days. Did you watch the live Jeffersons and All in the Family?
No. Live?
Yeah.
What?
They couple of weeks ago, Jimmy Kimmel was a producer on this, and so was Carl Reiner. And on ABC one night for an hour, they did a live episode of All in the Family, and then a live episode of the Jeffersons.
But like a new
like Woody
cast,
Harrelson. Yeah, like Woody Harrelson was Archie Bunker.
I never heard of this. Weird. Had to be pretty.
Marissa Tomei was Edith.
Really?
Yeah. Marissa Tomei's still too young to play Edith.
Yeah, she's never cast properly.
Yeah.
Always too young, too old.
But no, it was the script from the 70s.
Weird.
So it was the exact same script.
It had to be the most mild script of the series, though, right?
Nope.
Really?
Nope. And then the All in the Family was the first one they did, and it was an episode that included George Jefferson. So near the end of the episode, Jamie Foxx is George Jefferson.
Wow, how did I know about this?
And so as soon as that episode is over, they take a break, move the stage around, and then come back, and then the next half hour, it's an episode of the Jeffersons.
Weird.
It was awesome. It was fantastic.
This with every show.
They really should.
Yeah.
I'd like to. Like Will Ferrell was in it. He played one of the characters on the Jeffersons. Yeah, it was. The only thing they did was bleep the N-word in the Jeffersons.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was that in the show back then?
I think so.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
But some of the racist stuff that Archie Bunker says, they did.
Wow.
But yeah, to hear that dialogue in 2019, yeah, it's a little
Rough.
cringy.
Yeah.
Yeah. But they addressed that, and they talked about it, and talked about how a lot of the themes of each episode still apply today. It's not exclusive to the 70s.
Once again, it's sign of the times. I don't think there was any ill intention with that. I think that was just how it was. Now, I'm aware there are lines to draw, but I think for entertainment, I think the Archie Bunker character, well, the actor that portrayed him, and I think
Carol O'Connor.
Yeah, I think Jim Varney as well had no ill intentions with that.
Oh no, Carol O'Connor. Because I think my wife asked me while we were watching it. She said, "So do you think Carol O'Connor was more like Archie Bunker?" And I was like, "Absolutely not.
No, not at all."
I said when he was the sheriff on In the Heat of the Night, he was basically the exact opposite of Archie Bunker.
Right.
He was very progressive, very open-minded. So
I think for entertainment, that's where the line is drawn. You know what I mean? Because some people say they were bad people back then. It's just a sign of the times. You can't use that if those were actual intentions.
did you just say you know what I mean?
No, I think I did. I think I did.
Like Ernest?
You see, I've watched 3 hours of Ernest in the past week or so it's bleeding through.
So you're saying that we should view the Ernest movies like an early 20th century minstrel show?
No, not at all. I'm just saying with entertainment, comedy especially, I think it should be taken in stride for that. Comedy.
Mm-hmm.
I think all stuff, taken in stride. But whenever you're serious and say and do certain things, that's when the problem happens. Right. I think people get that mixed up, and there's the issue. When you have Jim Varney having a joke, or Chris Rock or Eddie Murphy doing a joke, shouldn't be a problem. When you have a statue of someone from 200 years ago that has a symbol, that's a problem. You see what I'm saying? The realism, the comedy. Is that just me? I don't know.
I think comedy has always been dangerous.
Yeah, but I think comedy in general is good intentioned, right? That's the definition.
I think it's honest.
That's the definition.
And I think maybe we have become so sensitive today that maybe comedy, even honest comedy, like for instance, the All in the Family and the Jeffersons, there's no way that show would be made today, even though the themes of that show apply to a lot of things happening in the world in 2019.
Even back then, when a character would say something terrible, it was to show how terrible that person was.
Right.
I think it wasn't in the intention to get the crowd on their side. It was to show how bad they were, and not to be like that. But I think now you can't even show what not to be.
Well, I think even in the 70s with Archie Bunker, I don't know that he was supposed to be terrible. Obviously, he was kind of a terrible character. But
he
I
was the oppressive father to the cool teens, and that was not cool.
True, and especially his view on like women and the role of a wife and all of that. But I think he was a very conflicted character, and I think part of the appeal of All in the Family was, as a viewer, you're cheering that Archie will change, and you're cheering that one day it's going to click in Archie's head, what his son-in-law and daughter keep trying to preach to him about is the right way. And I do think that's because I don't think Archie Bunker was an evil character. I think he was just a very conflicted and undereducated character. And I mean undereducated in the sense of sociological cues and how society, even in the 1970s, an advanced modern society operates. And I think he was holding on to, prejudice and ideas that were ingrained in his DNA. And it would be almost a physical change for him to think differently than he thought. But I think that's what you were always cheering would happen with Archie Bunker. And in some cases, the same thing for George Jefferson, because George Jefferson also had prejudices and biases that you were cheering that George Jefferson would overcome. And in both of those characters, you would see, it would be easy if they were straight up evil and you could just cheer against them constantly. But you would always see these bright moments in their character that made you keep cheering for them to find the error of their ways. Did that make sense?
Yeah, totally.
Any of that?
Yeah.
How long was I just talking?
A little bit. No, it makes sense though. It does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
down for it. So comedy, I think, in my opinion, comedy should be safe. If it's not over the edge, you know what I mean?
Well, I don't think comedy should be. You mean like comedy should be safe, or our view of comedy should be safe? Or like it's a safe space for honest.
I think it should be a safe space.
Okay, I get what you're saying.
Yeah, I think it should be a safe space.
Yeah, I don't think comedy should be safe.
Yeah, no. Yeah, I said that improperly. It should be a safe space. And within certain boundaries, of course.
Right.
Yeah. You can't, certain boundaries.
Because some of the most thoughtful things you will hear sometimes come from comedians and thought-provoking things. I mean, take
my wife, please. No, take her.
Jon Stewart's testimony before Congress this week.
Yeah.
How moving was that? From a funny guy.
Yeah.
So.
It was good.
Yeah. And how can you, and I promise I'll get off. See, this is what happens when we're not prepared with it. And how can you watch that testimony of Jon Stewart and not say, what he's saying is absolutely right? This is not a right-wing,
it's not partisan
thing. No, it's not partisan.
It's a person thing.
Yeah.
It's a human thing.
And to keep it partisan is just ridiculous.
That's the
world we live in.
I look at my, I don't want to say the P word, I look at my politics like that. I've said it before, it's not what side they're on. It's a good person, bad person.
Politics.
It's quite simple. Good person, bad person. I don't care what side.
Right.
I like people from both sides, and I think whenever you start hating someone with a D or an R next to their name, that's your problem. You have to look for the good person.
I totally agree. Yeah. You have to look at the person, not the letter. I really do agree with that.
Yeah.
Okay, enough of that.
Yeah, let's be done with the politics.
Do we sound different?
I think so.
Does it sound different?
Well, it's a new,
I know, we moved back to Studio A, and every time we move, there's a different sound.
By early November, it's going to sound just right.
And then we'll move again.
And then we go back to B.
Yeah, I feel like I feel like my voice is in a can.
Really?
Maybe it's when obviously when I'm
you're back there, yeah.
But I do.
That sounds like the Chris Hardwick podcast. That's why I can't do that show anymore. No. Have you noticed, it sounds like everyone's back here. Mm-hmm. This is the interview right here.
Well, I think because
it's the most popular podcast in the world sometimes, but it sounds like you're back here.
He's one of those interviewers that, especially his guests, and he's one of those interviewers that when the guest gets off on a tangent, he doesn't want to tell him to get close to the microphone.
Yeah. But many times, even starting out, it feels like there's just one mic in the middle of the room and they're screaming at it. I can't stand it.
An Omni mic.
That's second only to a Skype call.
Yeah, you hate the Skype cast.
I mean, it's fine if done properly, but we've all heard some bad Skype calls, and it takes you out of the moment.
Yeah.
If you're that takes you out of it, right?
Mm-hmm.
See what I'm saying? It stops right there, the chop. If it's a nice, clean, crisp Skype call the whole time, sure.
My favorite moment in Skype podcast is when everybody talks at once, and then they realize they're talking at once.
And they stop.
And then they stop.
Yeah.
And then two people try to go back in, and then they stop. And then it's just kind of back and forth.
It's like when you dance with an old woman at the grocery store. You're in the aisle. You're like, excuse me, you go right. She goes left. And you're like, oh. And you go the other way. And you're just waltzing for 2 seconds.
And then you just clothesline her. Steal her purse. Steal her baguette. Run out of the grocery store.
That's funny. Speaking of beating up old people.
Oh, yeah.
Captain Marvel on the second viewing is much better.
I thought you liked it the first time.
Yeah, I did. I gave it like a 7, 8-ish, but it was higher than that the second time around. My
My
wife never saw it. We redboxed it, and I was like, oh. Because I liked the movie, but the first 30 minutes, I didn't like it all. I didn't enjoy how they threw you right in the Kree War and Jude Law and her amnesia. I just didn't like that first 30 minutes. Not until we see Blockbuster is when the movie got good to me. But when you watch it the second time, a lot of that first part makes more sense.
Oh, good.
It does, yeah.
I enjoyed it. Again, the takeaway that I have with that movie is Brie Larson is so charming as Captain Marvel. And I wish she had been in Endgame more.
Yeah, agreed.
Because it almost seemed like a different character in Endgame.
Agreed. We have friends that don't like that movie and even certain moments in Endgame because it said, this is so dumb to even say, they said they're pushing the feminist propaganda. It's so ridiculous. Like, what are you talking about? The fact that she's doing stuff that all other males do in a superhero movie makes it a feminist propaganda. It makes no sense to me. I don't get it.
What?
I know. We have close friends that say this. I won't go deep on that, but it's weird they're thinking.
Is Archie Bunker our close friend?
It's weird they think they're pushing that. It's so weird to me. It's so strange. Why can't we just be humans? Not colors, not sexes. Just be a human, man. Be a human.
So, wait, hold on a second. Stop. Time out. So, they have a problem with Captain Marvel, or they have a problem with Captain Marvel in Endgame?
Both.
Then I guess they really had a problem with that one scene in Endgame.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Where it was all the woman superheroes together.
We were out in the garage, and I have flip-flops on. The mosquitoes are just getting my foot.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, it's all good. It's part of the process. I won't wear the flips next time.
I can close the door.
No,
close the garage
hot.
door.
Only the feet, though. Do I have the sweet feet?
Maybe.
Oh.
See, just then, it sounded like I was in a can.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't hear it.
Maybe I'm losing my ear.
It's possible. Hey, what did you do this past week, though? Talk about that.
Do you want to talk about that or E3?
We can do both.
Okay, we can do both. Well, 2 weeks ago, a week ago, I was at CMA Fest from Tuesday through Sunday. That was exhausting.
I'm sure.
A lot of interviews.
Yeah.
You saw some of the pictures, I'm sure.
I did, yeah.
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 If you want to hear those, I don't have them. You can go to WSMonline.com and hear me talking to the likes of groups such as Smithfield,
Yeah.
artists like Carly Pierce, Kaylee Shore. Not ringing a bell.
It's all good. It's not my cup of tea, but someone is sipping that tea good.
Tennille Towns. They're great. I did not have a bad experience with any artist.
That's good.
At CMA Fest. So we were in the Music City Center, where they have what they call Fanfare X. Which is kind of
like Pod X?
Well, I was also at Pod X.
All right.
Have we not recorded since I was at Pod X?
No. If so, it was deleted. I think so.
I went to Pod X.
Yeah.
Give your
take. I mean, we had friends and pals there, so not taking away from their experience because I'm sure it was fun and a good time. But the convention as a whole, honest talk on it. Give it to me.
Pod X?
Yeah. Honest talk.
I think the organizers for Pod X learned possibly what a lot of organizers learn when they bring a convention to the Music City Center. That is a big convention space, and if your crowd size is moderate, it feels empty.
So they should have been like an expo center in like Murfreesboro area?
Yeah, probably.
Okay.
Probably.
I can make that happen.
Or they probably should have done it at a hotel in Nashville.
You think so?
Because I think the live podcast on Saturday were really well attended. Because they did bring in some national podcasts. And there were, those live podcasts were well attended. But I did think it was humorous that PodX had what they called a quiet room, where you could go and you just get out of the madness. But being in the Music City Center and that space being so cavernous, when you would walk out in the hallway, it sounded like a library. Wow. So it was all a quiet space.
Yeah.
But I guess if you wanted the super quiet space, you could go with the quiet room.
Can't imagine that.
But I'm glad they did it.
Yeah.
And I'm all for the promotion of podcasts and, Liberated Syndication, the group that we use to post our stuff. They were there. I talked to one of their VPs who I had talked to the year before at Dragon Con in Atlanta. Like, we're sitting there talking to him, and I was like, do you do other conventions? And he goes, yeah. And I said, did you do Dragon Con last year? Yeah, I was there. I was like, yeah, I talked to you. We were on a panel together. So, so yeah, it was really interesting to talk to some of the Netflix was there. They had a studio where you could go in and record
I heard about
a
that.
podcast. Yeah. So I didn't go in there. I assume it was cool. I don't know.
Here's some real talk. Do you think 10 years from now, podcast is real? Like podcasts are at the spot where they should be? Because still, we think they're big, and they are big, but they're not like your biggest podcaster isn't even close to your mid-grade nationally syndicated DJ, correct? Can we agree on that?
You mean in like audience size or money-wise?
Money-wise, yeah.
Oh, not even.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. So when does it become? Why don't those numbers reflect the money numbers? When does that happen?
If I knew that.
Yeah. Right. That's what I think. At least 10 years, and that'll happen.
I think podcasts are here. I think yes. The answer to the question is 10 years from now, podcasts will definitely be around. Will there be as many? I think probably it is slowly becoming this outlet for entertainment. I think like the podcast like we do, I think what you'll see less and less of.
Yeah.
Where it's just two people just talking. Mm-hmm. I think the podcasts today are made with a purpose. Like, the one that I did for for WSM, the Building Nashville podcast. I mean, that is a narrative podcast that we have spent months creating and doing interviews for, and it takes hours to put together. And I think those are probably the kind of podcasts that you will see more of in the future.
But at that point, shouldn't it be a different? Like, to me, that's an audio documentary. Totally fine, but to put the term podcast is it's mislabeled to me. I don't know. You don't think so?
No, I mean, it's like TV show. Mm-hmm. You can have a TV show, and that's a broad definition.
Yeah, I guess so. I guess a digitally distributed audio program
is a podcast.
I guess so, yeah.
Yeah.
I guess, yeah.
So, yeah, I think podcasts, I certainly hope so. Mm-hmm. I'm betting on it.
I just wonder when
kind of betting my career on it.
I just wonder when they'll get to that level, the actual level they deserve to be on, is what I'm trying to say. And there's some great talent out there from all levels, top to bottom. But I don't think it's recognized yet.
It's not like nobody's making money in podcasts.
I know, but nothing compared to your like I said, your mid-grade DJs. Is there any podcaster that's not a celebrity making more than Bobby Bones does? Is there one out there? Because I wouldn't think so. I don't know the numbers, but I would bet against that.
Probably not making what Bobby Bones does, but within.
I'd say he's
within shooting distance.
He's a mid to high.
I would say stuff you should know, guys.
You think
I
so?
think the stuff you should know, guys, are doing very well.
Really?
Yeah. I think. What's the one that you listen to? I think the Last House on the Left guys.
Yeah.
They're probably doing well.
You think so?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's not. Now, I have noticed this. There's very few podcasters that are just podcasters.
Right. Those guys all do a lot. They're actors. They're political analysts. They're Twitch streamers. They do all kinds of stuff. Yeah.
So it's kind of one. It's like the gig economy. It's like a gig. Like, this is one of my gigs that I use to make my living.
Yeah.
Is being a podcast host. I think that's part of the. I think for most that are making some money in podcasting, it's part of the whole idea of gig economy. But I think the future is only bright for podcasts, and certainly corporations are seeing that. You're seeing more and more corporate funded podcasts.
Do you think the idea of the predetermined or pre-established celebrity podcasts is that rise in the future, or does that go away?
It seems like it's on the downturn,
think
right?
So?
Doesn't it seem like the really popular ones now?
Every week I hear blank that shouldn't have a podcast has a podcast because they're in a movie 5 years ago.
Yeah, I mean, that is continuing, but the ones that people really get into seem to be story-based podcasts.
You think so? Still?
Yeah, I think so. True crime.
Yeah, people love that.
Yeah. Did you listen to Jericho's podcast with John Moxley?
No, I wanted to, but I don't
Formerly known as Dean Ambrose?
Yeah, because you hear even the rumor is, of course, CM Punk, their next pay-per-view is in Chicago, so he's going to AEW.
Yeah.
But now, inside legit sources are saying Stone Cold Steve Austin is an AEW member. AEW.
What?
Yeah. I think next week he has Tony Khan, the president of AEW, on his podcast. Yeah.
But he can't wrestle.
He would do something.
But he can't wrestle.
I know, but
if he was able to wrestle, do you think he's going to do like a Shawn Michaels? Isn't it a little late in his career to pull a Shawn Michaels?
I don't know.
Where my career's over, I'm coming back.
Not
you
wrestle.
know who I think's coming back?
Who's
Edge.
That? To AEW, you think?
No.
Oh.
I think Edge will come back.
He's been talking a lot of trash on Twitter recently.
About?
Becky Lynch, honestly. They're doing some personal shots back and forth. Go check that Twitter feed.
Why?
I don't know, but yeah. It's very, very, very personal.
Oh, wow.
Like oddly personal. Like Edge on Twitter talking about Seth Rollins' leaked nudes from 3 years ago.
What?
Like that personal, yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's weird. A little awkward to read.
Yeah, it's uncomfortable.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah.
And then this week I went to a little festival in Manchester, Tennessee, known as Bonnaroo.
You could not pay me. Couldn't pay me.
Well, I got paid. Yeah. So clearly you can pay me to go one day.
No,
I was at
thank you.
Bonnaroo one day.
No, thank you.
And I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm good. Like, didn't spend the night.
Yeah.
Got there, did what we had to do. I was home by 11 o'clock that night.
That's nice.
That was way more than I needed for for Bonna boobs.
So the drive-in, drive-out wasn't too crazy? I've always heard nightmare
because
stories.
we had a
separate way.
We had a separate way. Yeah.
Yeah.
We got to go into the media route and all that.
No, thank you.
I am really taken back at how much nudity there is at Bonnaroo.
You should have expected that.
I didn't.
The Coachellas, the Woodstocks, it's that vibe.
Yes. So many butts and boobs.
You should have expected
Saw a lot of butts and boobs. I'm not gonna lie.
Should have expected it.
I guess.
Yeah.
At the Grand Ole Opry.
I mean, it's Bonnaroo in general, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was.
It's just the bleed over.
But that's what I was there for the Grand
Yeah.
Ole Opry,
Yeah.
first night of Bonnaroo.
Yeah, it's not.
Which honestly was a really cool thing to be part of.
Mm-hmm.
That was really cool to see. But just walking around, I'm like, it's not that hot,
It's
guys.
the bleed over.
It's not that hot. You can put some more clothes on.
My first ever mosh pit, the year of 1999. Remember the band SR71?
Yeah.
That's the hit song they had. And so I wanted my first mosh pit experience to be special. I was saving myself for that experience. I wanted to be special. Go in there. I'm like, you know what? It won't be rough. It's a pretty pop punk song. So this will be my first mosh pit. But little did I know that the Korn mosh pit people were right next to me, and the Korn kids come over. I got obliterated.
Oh, wow.
That's the bleed over. You had the Korn SR71 effect.
Yeah.
From the Opry to the Bonnaroo.
Well, I didn't get even close to any mosh pit.
Oh, yeah.
None.
You should do one before
There was
you
no mosh pit at the Grand Ole Opry. First of all, there was no mosh pit at the Grand Ole Opry. And secondly, if there was, I was on the other side of the gate. So
Just do one pit before you go.
no mosh pit.
Just do one.
Nope.
It's one,
I put it right up there with the shower orange. What other things have you tried? The sensory deprivation tank?
But I love, these aren't, all these things aren't one and dones. Like, these are continual things.
When was the last time you were in a sensory deprivation tank?
3 months ago?
Is that what Michael Jackson would sleep in?
Well, it was more of like an oxygen, yeah, kind of, but it was more of like I don't think there was water involved.
No, he would sleep in a hyperbaric chamber.
Right.
Yeah. Supposedly.
Yeah. Yeah.
Where he would increase the oxygen. And that's supposed to be good for the skin.
Yeah,
and
that's
why he would do it.
Not a terrible. If I had a lot of money, I would.
You would buy a hyperbaric chamber?
Do a lot of stuff, yeah.
I'd buy a sarcophagus.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah.
Have you watched Chernobyl on HBO?
That's so weird. So I didn't know that was even a thing, but I started having random dreams about that. I must have read that somewhere and subliminally it came in my mind.
Yeah.
But I was having pretty vivid and realistic dreams for a night or two. I even told my wife about it, like woke up in a frenzy. And then, a few days later, I find out there's a show happening about it. So the answer is no, but I kind of want to.
You had nightmares about Chernobyl?
Yeah.
Like you were there?
Yeah, very weird.
Ugh.
And I have no idea unless I saw the word, but I was not reading about it, didn't know the show was coming up, had seen nothing prior, but out of nowhere, I was having very realistic dreams.
You might be surprised to learn this.
Yeah?
That miniseries does not make the Russian government look great.
Oh, yeah, you think so? I did start reading a lot about it after I had those dreams. It was Pretty crazy. To this day, I mean, it's jacked up in there. I was watching videos of people on YouTube, sneaking through. And the
why would you
counters.
sneak in there?
I don't know how they're
Why
doing
would
it.
you do that?
But there's some very high quality videos on YouTube of, and I enjoy those videos of people going through old abandoned malls and old abandoned factories.
Or like the abandoned theme park at Disney World.
Those are great.
Oh, I
love those
that.
videos.
Yeah.
Those guys usually have like high quality stuff, and they'll actually walk, like in the theme parks, they'll walk the actual roller coasters. It's cool to see.
Mm-hmm.
But in this one in particular, they're in Chernobyl, and it was insane. The Geiger counter numbers. I'm like, I don't know what they're wearing. It's all in a first-person view of the GoPro. I'm like, what are you wearing right now to be in that? It's crazy.
Yeah, well, I mean, you're talking about isotopes with a half-life of 500,000 years?
Yeah.
Something like that?
It's got to be that Marty McFly, like Darth Vader costume they're wearing, right? The Vulcan sign. Yeah.
I come from the planet Vulcan.
Right. It's got to be something like that. Which that couldn't hold. It's shielding from plutonium, but the helmet has no zipper to it. Just straight, you take it off. How much is that blocking?
I think a real plutonium suit probably has a zipper.
I'm just saying. Come on. Give me a zipper.
Yeah.
You've made this
Well,
from
and
scratch.
the whole front is just plastic too, right?
Well, it could be like a...
In Back to the Future.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I'm sure there's a lot of lead lines, something.
Yeah.
In a real plutonium suit.
Yeah. But just the fact he takes it off like a beekeeper's hat. It's like, what? I don't know if that's... I think that would seep
Or
in there.
just flips it up.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. That's the Chernobyl stuff is cool. So you saw the show or the miniseries?
I've watched night 1, I think.
Yeah.
And got invested. I'd like to see the rest of it. Just haven't had time.
Is it doing the timeline of what actually happened, or the followed after effect, or all of that involved?
What I've seen so far was leading up to the actual meltdown.
Okay.
And then I guess maybe I saw the second episode because the meltdown happens. And then the most horroring thing in the episodes that I've seen was when they're trying to put the actual fire out. And so they decide that they're going to have to drop sand, or there's this chemical mixture that they got to drop. And then you just see the helicopter fly too close, and it flies into this cloud coming up from the fire at Chernobyl, and then it just falls to the ground. Yeah. And there's a Skarsgård in it.
Oh, really? Mm-hmm. In the miniseries? Mm-hmm. So is it all...
One of those Skarsgårds.
It's all fictional actors and like remake or reenactments?
Yeah, it's a
Oh.
it's not a documentary.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah. It's a dramatization.
Oh.
Yeah, it's the Skarsgård that was in Thor.
Well, that's no fun.
Yeah.
Dang.
What was it? Which one is that one?
Is that Stellan? I think it's Stellan.
He's the dad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty sure it's Stellan. I didn't know that was a reenact, like an Unsolved Mysteries version. I thought that was straight up documentary.
No.
That would be more fun.
But if you can see it, I definitely recommend it.
What is it on?
HBO. I think it's HBO. HBO or Netflix. I can't keep up on what is on what anymore.
Yeah, what's up with your current streaming status? Which TV provider do you have right now?
Hulu TV.
Okay. How much is that a month right now?
It's around the $40 mark.
Let me look at that. Mm-hmm. YouTube TV went up again. So
But we don't have AMC.
Really? On that?
So
Really?
I can't watch Fear the Walking Dead.
Ooh. You were watching that?
No. But I noticed that the other night. Like, I was like, oh, there's season premiere. Maybe I'll watch a little bit of it. And then we don't have it. But that's the only one we don't have. But then we do have like 2 TBSs and 2 TNTs.
Yeah. Be weird when they start adding channels. Like, yay, they're adding channels. Then it's $20 more a month.
And then they're raising the rates.
It's on YouTube TV.
How much is YouTube TV up to now?
It's $55, so we canceled it.
Wow.
They have an amazing channel list. Some we don't need.
Yeah.
But yeah.
And so they don't have a package lower?
That's they have only one package. You can add on from that base. You can add on HBO and that Showtime. But
did you watch the second season of Cobra Kai before? You got rid of it?
I didn't. I should have.
Because I hear that's really good.
Yeah, it's great. The first season's awesome. I thought it would be tongue in cheeky and they would Brady Bunch the movie me, but they didn't do that.
I still say that where we're headed is back to just cable television.
No way.
Yeah,
No way.
It is. Man, there's going to be so many services.
That plugged in, man. I can't. That's like a physical cable plug.
We are no. I mean, not cable,
Yeah.
but the theory, like the idea, the idea of cable
so.
TV. And here's how: we have so many services, and I've said this on the show before. And then you got Disney coming out, and now there's Hulu, and there's YouTube, and HBO Go, and Stars, and there's so many services to subscribe to that we are headed towards, within 5 years, a single service that you can subscribe to where you get all of these.
No, unless Disney owns that. Who the crap's going to do that?
Yes, that's where we're headed.
There's not one company that can do that.
Because that was like cable TV.
There's not one company. There's no way.
Yeah.
Like which umbrella would that be under to have all? Like who's going to put Disney in their pocket?
Somebody will. Somebody will.
Who's putting the mouse in their pocket?
But they'll pay them money.
Man, I don't think so.
They'll pay them rights.
I don't think so.
Yeah. So you want you want your Netflix, like the best of Netflix and Hulu and all of this?
I can see Disney
then
doing it.
Subscribe to this service and you get the best of all of these things. That day is coming.
I don't know.
Because there's too many.
Yeah.
I mean, you will reach a point of diminishing returns with the subscription-based services.
Yeah. If that's the case, I would love that. I just don't want the idea of cable, so like the channels and the what's happening here, let me go over here. It's just the menu system. No. It's very
cable
outdated.
TV is not coming back.
Yeah.
But the idea of having a single service that provides all of this content, that is coming.
But even then, that can't be as a la carte as you want. It can't be. Cable's still pretty. You can customize packages, aka more sports, more movies, but you can't be like, I want Fox Sports 2, but not 1.
Right.
Where with the apps, like the downloadable, streamable services, you kind of need to be that specific. Mm-hmm. You want to say, I want Amazon, but not Hulu. I want YouTube TV, but not Netflix, vice versa.
But and I don't know who will come up with it. Disney, Amazon, somebody will come up with it where, Netflix gets a little piece and Hulu gets a little, didn't Disney just outright buy Hulu?
Oh, yeah, majority stock, yeah.
Yeah, now Disney owns Hulu. Mm-hmm. So I guess for the adult-oriented Disney stuff, that's where you'll find on Hulu.
And Netflix is
so
dropping.
So if they do a Deadpool 3,
yeah,
Netflix is dropping. You think so?
Oh, their numbers are dropping big time.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, and they're about to lose all the Disney and Marvel
stuff.
Right.
And once that Disney comes in November with $6 a month, and compared to the $15 I'm paying for Netflix with the 4K viewing,
yeah.
Yeah.
Once the drug dealer known as Disney comes in with $6 a month, right. Hey, it's only $6 a month. You want to get in? I can't pass that up.
It's insane. $6.95 a month for every Disney movie, every Marvel movie, all the new stuff, brand new Star Wars shows, brand new Marvel shows. I mean, come on.
Yeah,
it's over. It's toast. It's done. It's done.
you want your Mandalorian marks? Now it's $15 a month. Okay.
Hiya, pal. Want some of this? Yeah, it's awesome. Yeah, I'm ready for it.
First time's free. What? What do you mean? What Disney character are you?
You're going to have the Disney service day one, right?
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, right now, man, I can't.
Right now, we have Hulu, Amazon, and Netflix, and HBO Go, which I think we'll probably get rid of now that Game of Thrones is over.
Yeah. We just have we have a free Hulu from a family member. Uh-huh. We're paying for Amazon, which we have Prime anyways. And Netflix.
But you know you can't use, so you know how you can get the free Hulu Premium with your Spotify account?
Oh, yeah.
But you can't get Hulu TV with that.
That makes sense.
There's no combination package.
Makes sense.
Even if it's a little more. So you can't apply the savings from your Spotify to any package that involves Hulu TV.
I would think that, yeah.
I mean, can't you get a little bit?
Don't be that person.
Can't you take like $3 off?
That's not how that works. It's not the deal.
Yeah.
It's not the deal. When I worked at Starbucks, we'd have a deal, buy a cup or buy a pastry. You get a cup of coffee for $1. Like, well, can I get this pastry and get $3 off my mocha? Like, that's not the deal. That's not the deal, Bobby.
That's Miley Cyrus. Pull around.
Yeah. So I don't know. I'm curious how that stream is going to work because it's only getting more and more. I mean, in 5 years, we're going to have probably double what we have now.
As far as services?
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
And that's why I say we're heading towards a one service you can subscribe to that provides you content from all the other services.
It has to be Disney. They're our only hope. Now, for that, say in 5 years, every available streaming service now is doubled. What would you pay for that? No, I'm paying for Shudder as well, $5 a month.
And do you still have the network?
I have the network too, yeah. You're right. Dang it. Oh, well.
So you're basically up to a cable bill now.
But with cable, I would not have every horror movie made at my fingertips. True. I wouldn't have every second of every Raw and Nitro. I wouldn't have the Netflix original. I mean, it may be close to cable bill, but I don't care what's on cable. I don't care about constant C-SPAN or HGTV or TLC or QVC unless I'm sleeping sometimes. Uh-huh. But I don't care about those. So I think the a la carte idea is perfect.
Yeah, I mean, it is a better spending of your money, but the amount hasn't changed. Yeah. Like, cut the cable, save money. That's gone.
It's still, I mean...
It's not cut the cable, save money.
I'll do the math. $10 for the network. Shudder's only $5, so it's $15 plus the $15 for Netflix. We're at $30. Amazon Prime is, what is that, $10 a month?
I think so.
That's $40, even with all that. That's $40 a month.
Yeah.
That's still a third of a cable price, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's not bad. I feel I can sleep with that. I feel good.
But then you'll add Disney.
That's 46. We're
And then
good.
Disney will go up.
56. We're
Then
good.
you'll go back to YouTube TV.
No, and it's not happening. That's why, because once they hit 55, I'm like, we're done. We're not playing this game.
I'm done with you.
Yeah.
Well, we were going to talk about E3.
Yeah, I guess we can next time.
Yeah, we'll do that.
Yeah.
That's next time.
All right.
On Podcast
Let you have
Roll.
to think about that.
Send us an email, adamandjp@gmail.com.
I had to think about that. Don't forget on Twitter at AdamandJP. We've been pretty active on Twitter this past week.
We'll talk about that next, too.
Yeah.
Well, we have or you have?
Yeah, it's been me.
Yeah.
A little teaser. I think soon, I'll tell the story more next week, but soon we may and should have some Taco Bell Diablo sauce tea from Foxglove Farm. Are you excited?
Mm-hmm.
I think, I don't know. It may be a joke. I gave her my address. We're going to see what happens. She said the tweet, like, if you want this, it can happen. 5 days go by. I sat on it. I thought about it. I slept on it. I'm like, huh. Are you serious? The retweet or the reply says, and she's like, I don't joke about Taco Bell or Foxglove Farm. Like, you know what? Here we go.
So what if you just get like a Lipton bag with some hot sauce in it?
That's very possible, but something I've never tried. I think we should try that on air. What do you think?
Yeah, I'm down. You know I love doing dumb
This
things
is a
on
great
air.
idea. A spicy tea in like the hottest month of the summer.
Great.
That's what we do.
Well, it's not the hottest month of the summer
Not yet, yeah.
It's August, my friend.
If I were spouting nonsense, I should have said something better tasting, but it's fun.
Yeah, why didn't you go with something sweet?
So someone on Twitter had a question about Taco Bell sauces if they ever go bad and they had them in their car. I had some time to spare, so I actually Googled all this of how much packets from stores last, and Taco Bell's were around 3 to 4 months. But I believe the spicier the sauce, I think it was the less time it had to stay fresh. I think the model was 5 to 6 months, and I think the Diablo was 2 to 3, which is odd. The spicier.
Wasn't that the name of your first album too?
What's that?
The spicier the sauce, the less it stays fresh.
Pretty much, yeah. And so it goes from there to the Diablo sauce, Foxglove Farm. I think we should get a line of
You
this.
had a nice fluffy ascot. You're holding a piccolo.
Can you see the podcasserole line of the Foxglove Farm? Think about it.
I'm all for it.
Diablo.
Branding's the future. I don't know. That's what they said at PodX.
Is that what it was? Yeah, we'll talk more of that next week.
Facebook.com/AdamandJP.
Mm-hmm. Like we said, at Twitter, at AdamandJP.
I'm Jay Patrick. That's Adam.
You've been eating the good, fresh Diablo sauce podcasserole.